I'm not happy or in a laughing mood as I am usually in my previous videos because exactly 1 hour and 37 minutes ago, counting by the minute, I have just completed one of the hardest math HSC exam papers that have ever existed in the lifespan of Earth. Nesso, what the fuck were you trying to test us on? Who wrote this? I'm gonna kill you. That's a joke. But for some context, if you have not watched my previous videos, I'm currently in Year 12 doing the HSC exam, and I am making a video on every single exam that I'm undertaking, giving you my thoughts on the exam, and basically how I thought the exam went. If it went well, if it was hard, and honestly today, this was much harder than I ever anticipated for in my life. By the way, I do mathematics standard too, because I am a dumb fuck, so please don't roast me in the comments. That aside though, holy shit though, this was actually one of the hardest math exams I have ever seen. Comparing to past papers that I've practiced on, the level of questions that were in this exam paper specifically was like top tier, very hard questions in comparison to past papers. Like I was anticipating more of a laid back, a lenient exam because, you know, I thought Nesta would be nice to us. I guess not. I guess they hate us because they gave us some of the hardest shit I've ever seen before. Some of these questions were so involved and required so many steps that it was quite confusing on where you needed to go. I'll give you a little bit of context here. During that 10-minute reading time at the start, I was flicking through some of the last questions, which are normally the harder ones, and honestly, looking at some of these questions, I was like, holy shit, I didn't know this was a standard question. Alright, because for some little context about where I've studied math from, I actually used to be in Mathematics Advanced. From year 9 and year 10, I was actually quite smart at math, and I was in one of the upper classes, and last year I was in Mathematics Advanced, which is basically just a harder one. You study more concepts like calculus and integrations and all that crap, and logarithms and all that. But I eventually dropped it to standard maths because I couldn't be asked keeping it, you know. I wasn't doing the best in advanced math, so that's why I decided, yeah, no, it wasn't worth it. I'm just going to drop the standard. So I thought, you know, standard math, you know, especially my background in advanced math, I thought it'd be like, oh, this should just be a walk in the park. Because I've done advanced math, a little bit of it, most of it actually. And you know, you kind of get the consensus here. I've done the hard stuff. I just have to do the easier stuff now for the exam. And yet, no, this standard exam was actually quite hard. You know, I think everybody in the state would do shit in it. So I hope everybody in the state do shit so I get a good mark. But that aside though, I'm going to walk you through some of the questions I thought were actually quite difficult in comparison to past papers. So let's look at it. This question right here that I drew up really quickly on Paint before this video started. I was stuck on this question for like half an hour. Yeah, so how I type stuff in exams, I'd skip the harder questions, just like anyone would. So I come back to this towards the end of exam, and I've completed most of the stuff. And I spent a good maybe half an hour on this question because I just didn't understand what you have to do in order to solve it. So basically what you need to do is you need to find the distance of x, which is from there to there. Now, obviously this involves trigonometry, which I'm okay with trigonometry. I know how to do trigonometry. It's just how to actually use it in this question I find pretty difficult because there's just not a lot of information you're going off here. So to find that, you probably need to find an angle of that. So we can see here that's 36, and by using alternate angles, we can say that is 36. But then 36, 90, all triangles add up to 180, so you can figure out that that will be 54 degrees. Now with that, that's all I got up to because there's not really much else you could do. You don't get any sides with this little small triangle in order to find x. So obviously you want to find maybe this side first, which we'll call y here. But then to find y, how are you meant to do that? In this bigger triangle here, we only get one proper distance because this one doesn't really count because it's going the full way. And you don't get an angle. We don't know that angle and we don't know that angle. The only other thing in the question that states any measurement is that this angle here, this total angle here, is greater than 90 degrees. And that's it. So I have no idea how to solve this. So if you know, please put it in the comments because I'm dumb. But I did spend a good half an hour on this, trying to do ridiculous methods of maybe if I extended the triangle so that the 75 would be the base. But if you do this, then it doesn't really help you because it's not a height. And also, you don't get an angle, so not useful at all. I tried to make a rectangle here, but then just nothing worked. So Please tell me in the comments on how to do this, because it was kind of ridiculous because I couldn't solve it in half an hour. But that aside, there were other ridiculous questions in there, like having to figure out the height of a pyramid. You know what? I'm gonna live draw it out on this video right here. Right here. So we have a pyramid. It is a square-based pyramid, and what you have to do is you have to find the height, h. That would be the height. The base of this is a square, and it's 14 by 14 centimeters. And that's literally all you get. The second part to the question, which was super strange, is that they, for some reason, decided, let's put some spheres. I don't know how to draw a sphere. Let's put some spheres into the pyramid so you can work out what the what the volume of a pyramid is. So they put these spheres here, which is 1.5 centimeters in radius, into the pyramid. And once you put 30 of these spheres into the pyramids, you have 638 cubed centimeters left as the volume. So what to do in this question, because it's so wordy and it's just ridiculous on like how would you solve this. So what you do is, since there's 30 spheres that can be put into the pyramid itself, you need to figure out how to find the volume of the sphere. So the volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. So that's some math equation I don't give a shit about. I'm not going to solve this right here, but that's how you find the volume of a sphere. You times that by 30, you plus it to 638 to get the volume of the triangle of the pyramid. And after you get the volume of the pyramid, which the equation for the volume of a pyramid is third area height. To figure out the height, you need to rearrange it. So you get the volume of this pyramid, which you'll figure out there, and then you rearrange it so you get h over there and you get volume over there. To get h equals volume of a thing. There you go. That's how you solve it. It was such a wordy question because I gave you a diagram, and the diagram was really confusing. Why the hell would anyone measure the volume of something with spheres? Like, what? Who thought of this? Who thought of putting spheres in pyramids? Like, oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna take you through one more question, and it's a word-based question. It's also something about normal distribution, which is a topic that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, how do you know that 64% of data sets occur within -1 and 1 of a z-score? What the hell? This isn't real-life application. What the hell was this? But that aside, the question basically states this. Mary had 1,200 sheep. Yep, 1,200 sheep. They are split male and female to a ratio of 1 to 200. Okay, that's the first part of the question. How do I make this smaller? Can you not? Thank you. After that, what he had to do is, the male sheep had a mean weight of 72 kilograms and a standard deviation of 7.8 kilograms. I've probably forgot the actual values, but we're just gonna go off that. Using which are normally distributed. If fuck, I forgot. If 0.025% of sheep are over no. Here, okay. 0.025% of sheep are over X kilograms. Find X. What the fuck is this? Now, I have no idea if I got this correct, because this is such a wordy question as well. So we got a normal distribution graph right here. Can I make this slightly bigger? Like, please. You get a normal distribution graph. You say that 0.025. 0.025 is not a z-score. The z-score would be, I think, 3.3 occurring infinitely. So what I did is I found out what 3%... I found out what 3% of that is, and I don't know. I don't know how to do this question as well. If you're in the comments, solve all these questions I'm putting up on the screen, because honestly I can't be bothered, and they're really confusing, so please help me in the comments. But yeah, that aside though, this math exam was so shit. Like, was so poorly written as well. Like, some of the questions were very badly written. Like, I had no idea what they were asking for. Like, I remember one of the questions was talking about the depreciation of something, and it said the question was like, what was the value of the depreciation after 10 years? What do you mean? What's the value of depreciation? You mean the value of the car once it's depreciated, or how much the car is depreciated itself? It's vague, and it contains multiple meanings. And I obviously don't know what the answer is. Because, like, you know, you don't give a proper question. It's so vague. Like, are you trying to find out the future value of the car after it's depreciated? Or are you trying to find out how much the car is depreciated in that 10 years? Or in that 1 year? I don't know. I put it as 10 years, but I just don't understand some of these questions and their wordings. Which is why I'm saying that this paper that was just given to us 47 minutes ago, counting by the minute now, was honestly one of the hardest things I've ever seen before. Like, this was so hard compared to anything before. So, yeah, I hope you can relate to me, because imagine everyone in the comments be like, oh, this shit's so easy. Shut the fuck up. Nah. For me, it was quite difficult, and I think across the board as well it's quite difficult. Let me show you a TikTok someone made about this. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with everything, because this is one of the stupidest papers. But the good thing is, I am finished for the next week and a half. My next HSC exam is on the 3rd of November, if I am not mistaken. It's on a Monday. Yeah, 3rd of November, and it's geography. So that is my last HSC exam for the rest of my life. Is that crazy? I don't know, but I don't know how I feel about my timetable. As you can see by these previous videos I've made, I've had a HSC exam go every single day from the start of it, from Thursday, English. I had a HSC exam from the 16th. We got English 1, English Paper 2, Music, Religion, Modern History, Maths, and Geography at that finale, 3rd of November. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm pretty hyped for Geography. I feel like Geography is one of the easier ones. I did get a pretty good mark in my trial, so I'm quite confident that I'll do well for Geography. But that aside, that's all I have to say for now. Yeah, I'm actually feeling good though. I'm finished with HSC. I'm never gonna have to do this shit ever again. So I'm glad it's out of the way. But that's all I have to say, guys. That's all I have to say. I'll see you guys when the day comes for Geography. See you guys.